Oh my God. I almost had a perfect intro. Thank you so much for that gifted sub to Sasha. Today I have my guest. I'm sure all of you know this, a beautiful face over here, Mr. Andrew. Gonna go ahead and say hello.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Much too kind. Thanks for having me. Really
We're
appreciate it.
excited. I thank you for coming on here. This is awesome, so I appreciate it. As most of you know, Andrew is part of Kick staff. Andrew, you did just get you switched positions recently, so we'll just touch base on that real quick before we hit the heavy hitting questions. You went from being the top of the partner program, right? Like you were overseeing the partner program, and then what is it entailing now?
Yeah, I think for me right now it's doing more of that stuff, right? It's so my old title was head of strategic partnerships. And then my new title is streaming experience lead. Um
Okay.
and real really is just I hate saying that at a startup, you're doing a little bit of everything,
Oh yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Um, you're touching in everything. You're answering support tickets, you're redlining contracts, you're scouting new talent, you're um, you know, playing whack-a-mole with 20,000 different things. But as the company scales, you're able to hone in on the things that you really want to keep doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the stuff that the folks that you report to say like, oh, this is what you're really doing well at, and we're going to offload more responsibility off of your plate, and then let you focus in on the stuff that that you can make a bigger impact on. So for me, it's the streaming experience, right?
Yeah.
And I just get to spend more time with the creators. I get to stream more. I've started streaming a little bit more on my channel.
I saw that. I tried going into your stream the other night, but right as you were going live, I had a couple emojis and I was going into wrestling practice with my kids. And so I couldn't actually sit down and listen to because inside the high school building, it's like there's no service. And I'm like, damn it, I'm trying to watch this.
right? It's just your kid's body slamming somebody, and you're surfing it on Kick. I love it.
I am. I
Um,
am.
but yeah, so as Kick grows, we have more people that come on and take on more things, and they get to bring their spin to things. So
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
get to
There's a
have
lot
more
of talent here.
conversations with people. Yeah. There's a lot more talent, but there's a lot more people that care. There's a lot more people that are heavily focused in the industry. There was in my old job, I couldn't, there were so many people that came over from a totally different department of Amazon that
Mm-hmm.
really did not know the nuts and bolts of live streaming, right? Like they knew Alexa couponing like really, really well, right? Or
Right.
they knew about Amazon Music like the back of their hand, but coming into the live streaming space, there's just no shortcuts in getting to know what the hell this is.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of people coming in to Kick, I've noticed that right now if you go onto the internet, you go onto Twitter, because that's where typically the social media is like kind of taken over when it comes to the streaming world. Right now on Kick Twitter, there is a shit ton of drama that is happening left and right, and a lot of accusations being made about the partner program. How do you guys combat that and try to make it so like when people hear the word kick, they're not thinking of this negative space that's full of drama all the time, or like a favorite program being played essentially instead of a partner program? How do you guys combat
Yeah.
that and make it turn like a positive flip on it?
Well, I think, in this space, it's about transparency, and it's
Mm-hmm.
about, not overreacting, but listening, and then picking and choosing when you're going to kind of step in. And I think some of the drama that you're talking about is certainly like, okay, there's drama between individuals that grown folks just have to work out themselves,
Oh,
right? Like in the
100%. Yeah.
in the real world, right? But as soon as it starts crossing over into like Kick business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we just simply set the record straight. We just say, hey, look, you know this is how we run it over here at Kick, and if you hear otherwise, you're hearing it from the horse's mouth, right? um
Mm-hmm.
and then I think the other thing is that live streaming is it's emotional, right? It's a it's a people's business type of thing, and yeah, so when things start to go haywire online, we just kind of stay out of it, and then we step in where we need to. But I think the most important thing is that everyone is safe. I think the most important thing for us is that there's a resolution, from a personal perspective, but from a business perspective, when it starts to go off, into gray areas, then we just come in and set the record straight. And we don't really take a side per se because um, everyone has had issues in life.
Yeah.
Um, and sometimes those issues take place on social media, and that's certainly none of our business. But when it dips into the kick business, and then the business of our partners as a collective, we just simply set the
Yeah.
record straight, and
And I
that's what we did.
noticed that, you did go ahead and actually, you come out and go, "Hey, just so you know, that's not how things are run here. I don't know, what accusations have been made or basically saying like, I'm not exactly sure what all is going on here, but just so you know, this is not what happens in the partner. We don't just shadow ban for no reason. We're not, whatever accusations have been made, and you kind of set that straight. Is that because for the partners, you look at it as like I mean, this is a business, so if you're in the partner program, this is your place of employment. So you look at that professional standpoint. Do you hold your partners to a different accountability of like you are representing the streaming platform entirety or as an entirety? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
completely. It's completely implied that you're representing kick. I think another thing to keep in mind though is that um this industry is all tiny businesses, right? Your
Mm-hmm.
channel is a business. This is your business, right? And there is your brand, and then there's the Kick brand.
Right.
And then right now we're just in that area where we're just now launching the Kick Creator Partner Program. So people are getting to know what the Kick brand is, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think that out of 133 creators, there's always going to be back and forths, right? But
Yeah,
I'm really
absolutely.
happy. I'm really happy with how, look, I worked at E League for a very long time. I worked
Mm-hmm.
at Adult Swim for a very long time. I worked at Twitch and Amazon for a very long time. Um, uh, like I said, I'm just glad everyone is safe.
Yeah.
That's like my main concern is everyone's safe because that drama was I mean, it was it was par for the course in this industry, right? And it, yeah, it does get heavy handed, but that's where we kind of say, all right, let adults, you guys work it out. But as soon
Yeah.
as it crosses over into kick business or talking about other partners, that's when we're kind of like, and
Yeah.
collectively inside, it wasn't like it wasn't a meltdown, right? It was like, hey, what's going on here? And then we were kind of like, look, let's just set the record straight. So
Yeah. I
um
do. I
yeah.
genuinely, from like because I actually run a social media marketing business. And so from that perspective of seeing how you guys handled that, and not only not having like the social media people, from Kick Streaming or Kick Community go ahead and comment, we actually had like a face of Kick staff that we all know pretty well, go ahead and comment and set the record straight. And I thought that was handled very, very professionally, and it was just kind of just like letting you guys know like, hey, that's not how this is run. I don't know where this came from, but that's not it. This isn't what's happening over here.
Going back to my original couple comments is, transparency is very important in this business.
Mm-hmm.
um I think Eddie leads by example.
Yeah.
Eddie's very transparent. And I think it's because he's your guys' generation. He totally gets it. My generation came up in um my parents saying, I told, because I said so, right? You're just going to listen to me because I
I
because I
mean, I'm
said so,
guilty of that too. I'm 28 and I'm raising kids, and I kind of still say because I
right?
said so. So I don't know.
But how crazy is it when your kid how crazy is when your kid like pulls up what you said on Google and said, "Ma, like you're full of it." Like how many my kids,
Yeah.
I have an 18-year-old son, and when he was like 11 or 12, when Google was getting heavy, you know he would Google stuff that he would ask me a question, I would just give him a half-ass answer, because I wasn't really paying attention or being a
Mm-hmm.
bad dad, and he would Google it, and he'd be like, "Hey, old man, like, you're way off," right? And I think what we have to realize is that this generation of streamers, this generation of people who are consuming, media in the live streaming space, like, they know when you're bullshitting, right? They just know when you're bullshitting.
Oh
You got
my
a fat
gosh,
you got
I
some fat
did.
gifting. Nice.
I don't mean to
Alright.
interrupt you, but shout out to Bob Kick and Run and Chavez and Captain Coolit for all the gifted subs. Thank you so much. I love you guys. They're all in here supporting me. We've had a couple of like hashtag like verify sin. We've had some gifted subs in here. I have people from all over like just sitting there just like coming into chat and like hanging out with me right now. And it's like this is super cool. I love you guys. Thank you for the support. I don't mean to cut you off. Sorry. Continue what you were
No, no, no,
saying.
no. This is what I'm talking about. This is the business.
It is.
This is your business. So you have to step in and you have to deliver for the masses. I
I
totally
do.
get it.
I genuinely, I have to say, from like a creator's aspect or perspective here, I came over from Twitch, and it is a completely different experience over here. And yes, there are typically there's more streamers versus viewers. However, um, it has been like it's just the mutual support between creators is like it's fucking amazing. It is something I have never experienced before ever, you know? And my anniversary of streaming is actually coming up, and the best time that I've had has been entirely on this app. 100% without a doubt.
That's music to my ears, and our staff works really hard to um look. I think a major difference between Kick and other places wait a minute. I think you got another.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
Denny's coming
Denny
in hard.
with the 50 gifted. You guys, what are we doing? If you aren't following Denny, you have to. Denny does all my poster work. Okay? I'm getting a degree actually in graphic design, and I still have Denny do my work because he is that fucking good. I love Denny. Yo, big shout out to you, Denny. Thank you so much, man. Oh my god, don't make me cry. Stop. I'm interviewing Andrew, guys. Like, don't embarrass me right now. And Avabs with the 10 gifted. What in the fuck are we doing? Oh my gosh.
We're gonna pause. I'm just gonna.
We
I'm
are,
just gonna
yeah,
pause.
no, I'm sorry. I know, like, we have a little bit of a time limit here, but, like, yo, shout out to Ababs. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted. You guys are amazing. Get back to the interview. We're trying. So what?
No, but
oh, go ahead. Yeah,
look,
yeah.
just real quick. Like, I mean, the fact that this is popping off like this in here is like all on you, right? We see you putting in the work. We met at DreamHack.
Yeah.
You're doing different interviews. You did a health and mental health check-in
Yep.
the other day. Look, not too many people are covering that content.
Yeah.
Not too many people are hitting that, and I gotta believe that you're sitting at your desk thinking about like, how can I differentiate my content? How can I how can I get in with this community and bring my own flavor to things? And it's paying off.
I did. Maze actually was the inspiration. Maze and Iceman were actually the inspiration of the mental health, the wellness check Wednesday is what it's called. Because in a segment that Maze did, he was talking. He's like, if you're expecting to make an income out of this, or expecting to make a career out of it, or grow with it, what are you going to give your community in order for them to give to you? What can you give back to them? Not some stereotypical stale content, which goes back to a comment that Eddie made. It's about, like there's all these people that are doing like this stale content. You're looking for like this newer stuff. And I thought about it, and I'm a huge advocate for men's mental health. And I reached out to my friend who I'm currently converting over to the Green app. He is only a few followers away. He says once he hits 75, he'll come over here. But I talked to him, and I told him, I said, dude, we need to do this, and you're who I thought of. And he's like, sign me up. He's like, hell yeah, I'm down. And oh my gosh, Whittle Bears is in the chat. Stop. There's people that I looked up to, that I've been following since I came over here, that I look up to, that are in my chat right now. And it's actually insane to me. And I really genuinely appreciate that, you guys. Honestly. I love you too, Tempest. But yeah, I did that, and we've been doing it. We did it for our 4th week. Thank you so much for the gifted subs, you guys. We did our 4th episode. We're doing our 5th one actually here in a couple days. We provided the anonymous form for people who wanted to go ahead and, submit it, but weren't sure. Jesus. Hi, Tempest. Thank you so much for the 15 subs. Oh my gosh, you bless your heart. I love you so much. But yeah, man, it was, thank you for reaching out about that, recognizing it, and helped me get on the front page. It was my first time being on front page, and I was really glad that was the night that it happened, because that's a kind of like, I don't care to be on front page when I'm sitting here just messing around, the karaoke last night or playing Valorant or whatever I'm doing. But the fact that I was on front page for the first time when I was doing a mental health segment, like that meant the most to me, because I was like, this is what I want to get out there. I want people to see this. I want people to see I care about men's mental health. I want people to know that, we're all here for each other, and like, just create a space where people feel comfortable when they're going through something. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted. Jesus wept. Whittle Bear's coming with the 20 bomb. What are you guys, Midnight coming in with the 5 gifted? What are we doing right now? Oh, Andrew, I think they're trying to make me cry in front of you. Guys, thank you so much for the love.
And if you sucked, this would not be happening. So kudos to you. Big time. And when I met you at DreamHack, your energy was solid. You were very confident. You were knowledgeable in what you were saying. You were asking really tough questions without attacking. It was awesome to meet you. So the minute you said, "Hey, do you want to hop in for an interview?" I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." Because you're just chill. And
thank you. I feel the same about you.
Look at your chat, man.
I am. Yeah. They're actually driving me. I'm actually like shaking right this second. I'm about to grab my water bottle so I don't have a panic attack. But no, I thought the same thing, and I know you want to hit I know you want me to hit you with the hard questions. I have a couple of them, but I genuinely just wanted to get you on here to learn more about who you were as a person, because when we met, it was like I was scared at first. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I was scared shitless. I was like, I'm gonna meet Kick staff. Like, that's a big deal. And then I met you, and you were just so welcoming. And even Bob, I met Bob and Mrs. Bob, right? And by the way, I love his wife. Okay, I call her his manager. Bounty, thank you so much for the 5 gift to you guys. You're going crazy tonight. But like, you were just so like completely relaxed. Like, hey, what's up? How's it going? Oh yeah, you got a pocket? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll take your business card. Oh, cool. You want a t-shirt? What? You guys want a picture? Like, you were just so nonchalant and hanging out. And I was just like, dude, are you sure you're Kick staff? Like, there's no way. Wheel me with the 5 gifted. Thank you so much, man. But yeah, I really wanted to just get you in here because I was just like, dude, Andrew is a freaking cool ass dude, and you guys need to meet him, learn more about him. Like, you have a lot of experience in the industry. You're not just from Twitch. You mentioned before that you were with Adult Swim. You were with TV. Was it like just TV production? What exactly did you do over there?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm an older guy. I'm 46 years old.
Echoes, thank you.
I started out. Oh, Echoes. Okay, you got to take time out for Echoes for sure.
I do, man. Echoes, let me tell you. Echoes is actually going to be on the podcast at the end of this month. We're doing the 28th. Echoes is like a brother to me. We're all part, we're all family. And Echoes is like an amazing individual. And man, that guy, he's got some pipes on him, okay? There's not a song he can't sing. My only issue with Echoes is that every time he sings, he makes me cry. So if we could somehow get around that, that would be fantastic.
That's hilarious. Yeah, the ability to make people cry. That's
oh my god, Nightmare. Awesome. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted too. Like, you guys are just showing so much love. It's kind of crazy because like I really just got some bad news the other day about like our living situation and stuff, and so I was like getting ready to plan like a subathon and stuff, and here we are in this, and you guys are helping me like get to a goal to like help me with that, and it's just I'm definitely gonna cry about this after we end the podcast tonight. I'm definitely gonna cry.
But
I do. I
I
appreciate
mean,
it.
what other media can you have an instant impact on the talent? You know,
And right.
that's
Yeah.
that that's what
I
that's what's that's what's drawn me to live streaming.
Dude,
You
that's
know,
what drew me to it was that the connections that you can make with people. You think that it was just about, Denny with the 43 viewers. What a chat. I know we were all hanging out earlier. Thank you so much for that, Denny. I love you, man. Thank you. We oh, I got caught up there. When I got into streaming though, you just thought that it was just about, you know, like playing video games. And then the more you get into it, and when I came over here, I was just like, "Oh, dude, this is more than just video games." You know what I mean? This is it's you have like just chatting, you have art, you have people making music, you have people singing live, you have people performing a one woman band. You have Chavez sitting here slaying on the drums. Maze, Dubs, Echoes, and Ice are all sitting there like doing something each and sending it to the other one and remixing it all together and shit. And it's like, this is way more than just video games. And then you get down to the nitty gritty of it, and it's like, holy crap, this is a community too. Like this is a family. Like this is more than just, hey, let's just play video games and watch me, get this sick ace or whatever. It's so much more to it. But I learned that on Kick. I didn't learn that on any other platform. I felt that on Kick. And that's why I love it here, dude.
well, let me give you my theory as to why that is.
I'm all for it.
So like a lot of the other places I've worked at, like there is a definite ego um, to saying that you work somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that comes across as they need us, right? Like the
Yeah.
they being you guys, the creators. And I think that's how utility companies operate, right?
Yeah, that's
That's
a
how the
good
gas
comparison. Yeah.
that's how that's how the gas company operates. That's how your cell phone operates. That's how the water company operates. Like try being short on your bill on a couple utilities. They know you need this utility. They know that you need this electricity, right?
Yeah.
The biggest difference on Kick is that we don't view Kick as a utility.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't view the creators as the users of the platform. We view the creators as the stars of the platform. And that's a huge, massive, fundamental difference. Is that
Yeah.
we recognize that the platform is absolutely nothing. We are, Eddie has said this before, like we are merely an index where you go and find your favorite live streamers.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Twitch and Facebook and YouTube and even Kick. It is an index. And how do you differentiate yourself? We think that the way you differentiate yourself is you actually have a relationship with the creators.
Yeah, yeah, you guys definitely you practice what you preach in that aspect. I definitely felt that when I went down to DreamHack and when we met and we all got together. I mean, Kick took over, the community down. Like everywhere you saw it was just green. It was Kick green everywhere, and that started with you being out there, the team being out there, giving away the t-shirts, meeting with everybody, taking the pictures and stuff. Like you were just welcoming and you made it feel like you cared about your creators. You know what I mean? And that speaks volumes as a platform, and being on the staff, that speaks volumes to a smaller creator like myself. I mean, there's an ongoing joke, I'm a 20 viewer Andy, okay? And to me, getting to meet you and feeling like that in person, I was like, holy shit, like no other platform's doing this, man. So you definitely make us feel like you care. And on that too, I know people have made some comments on Twitter. People love crying to Twitter. They love it. And I know people have made comments, and I won't say any names, but they made comments about like how, well, do you care about the little streamers? Why haven't I been featured? What's this? Or, there's view bot accusations and all this stuff. But when you really break it down, I see some people that are on front page regularly, right? And a lot of them are partners, and rightfully so. They're partners. You know what I mean? Like they're putting out the content, they're bringing the stuff out. They deserve some front page action. you guys have people up there. I saw somebody up on the front page with like 15 viewers. And that's not the first time I've saw it. You guys do actually pay attention to the smaller streamers, and I think that's something that deserves a little bit of recognition, is that you guys do say what you are going to do, you know? What, whose idea was it? Eddie's idea to focus on the little streamers, the smaller streamers?
How did that all come about? Yes. Yes, yeah, I mean, it was a conglomerate of things. To be very frank, it came after Ice Poseidon, the
Mm-hmm.
Ice Poseidon debacle.
Yeah.
I think that there was a massive bomb dropped in there where we started realizing that we had to revisit our guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
And the more that we started digging into what the community was saying by going to Twitter or X town halls, or listening to Sam and Ice's side of the story, or listening to the other creators' side of the story, where there were smaller creators, calling out bigger streamers in this town hall. It was just a matter of sitting in and listening, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, then we took it to our partners, right? And kudos to Eddie. He listened to the partners. He has direct conversation with them at all times, and we took in all the notes and we adapted the guidelines. There was a complete overhaul in the guidelines, and the more that we started digging in and things, we started realizing, look, um, you know, big streamers are great, but these guys who stepped up and started saying things and started speaking for the platform, they really care, right?
Yeah.
And then that's when we started saying, listen, we got to start finding a balance. um Look, at the other place that I worked at, look, there's a 2-month waiting list that you have to apply for. And even then, it's a slim to none shot that you're going to get, in the carousel, much less like maybe on the recommended sections on
Yeah.
on the front page. So over here, we were just like, this has just got to be much more accessible, right? Like, we don't run commercials, we don't run ads, we don't care about hours streamed because we're not running commercials over your content. My point in saying all that is that, we're not selling the front page at tens of thousands of dollars, right? We're giving that to the streamers that make this platform, and that is comprised of small to medium sized streamers. So
Hi,
thank you for noticing
Majin.
that.
Yeah, of course.
And it's yeah, I think that those are facts that people overlook, but the
Yeah.
origins of that came from the community speaking out, and not just the Kick community, like the entire live streaming community. Look how the live streaming community has totally made Twitch go back and forth on the stuff that they're doing, like simulcasting or implied nudity or the meta
Yeah.
or the yada yada yada, right? Like, I mean, um when I was over there, like, you just put it out there and there was no debate. There Competition makes people come to the table and explain themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good for everybody. That's good for everybody.
Yeah. I did have a question while we were talking about, the complaining on Twitter and stuff, and all the little stuff that happened. There was another I don't know if it's necessarily a rumor or something, just something I did hear along the pipeline, was that in reference to being shadow banned. Okay, so it's one of those tough questions I told you I was going to ask you. All right. In reference to being shadow banned, I heard that if you um that you can get caught view botting, that you guys have a way of finding out that people are botting themselves. And if it is found out that you are view botting, that you will not appear actually in the category. And people have to manually search your page to find your live stream. Is that true?
No, I think you might be referring to a statement that Eddie made, which is, and go back in his Twitter feed. It's just not that hard. It's not that
It's
hard to
not. It's
see.
not.
It's
It's
not that.
really, really not. Okay.
It's not hard. And it happens across all platforms, and it happens a lot on Kick because we're still building. We're in beta, so there's a lot of holes, right?
Right.
We don't have we're not stabilized, so we're an easier target.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as all that, like go back in Eddie's tweets, and he'll just tell you, look, it's not that we don't shadow ban anyone. We just don't focus on them. You
Right.
know, we don't
Yeah.
we don't focus on them.
And I don't think you should. I don't think you should.
Yeah,
I don't think
it's
anybody
it's
thinks you
and
should except for the
and
people
it's
who do it.
and it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. Have you ever gone into a stream where someone's just blatantly view botting
Yes.
and
Yes, actually a few
it's
times.
it it's strange. I don't get it. Because
I don't see the benefit of it. I don't see the benefit of it because one, you're taking money out of your own pocket, right? Because I'm assuming I've never view botted. I've had to ask questions to people about this. So you have to pay for this, right? So you're taking money out of your own pocket to pay for this. And what? To get the views? The views aren't helping you. You're not going to be focused on anything because we can tell you're view botting. So you're not growing anywhere and you're not getting any income from it. You're not like, there's no plus side to this or pros for this. So why do we keep doing this? I don't understand it.
it's expensive too. I mean, at best, your average streamer is only going to be able to afford an hour and a half to 2 hours of botting a day to maintain it. So look, Kick values views, right? And other
Yeah.
places value hours watched, and yeah, it's just, to answer your question as far as like us having like this strategy, there is no there's no people know.
Yeah.
Go to Stream Hatchet, go to Stream Charts, go to go to Twitch chat tracker, pull up a
Yeah.
couple graphs, lay them over, um, look to see who's rating into their channels. Go back and check them out. Is it a
I just want you
is
to
it
know
a
for the
channel?
record, I knew the answer to this already. I just wanted to
Yeah.
get it out here. So, like, when somebody, I'm sure they're going to go ahead and come across it, the people who feel attacked by this comment, they can go ahead and view it later on and know that we're saying, like, dude, just fucking cut it out. Just stop doing it. It doesn't make any
Well,
sense to.
but then the argument is, well, it's being done to me, okay? And I think Trainwreck said it. If it's being done, and he's right, if it's being done with any kind of regularity, it's an investment, because these guys move on to the next people to harass
Mm-hmm.
when they're doing it. I think one thing that's a major issue within the industry regarding view botting is media buyers. All right, so
Okay.
media buyers who do not understand the value of a view versus a unique chatter, view versus user generated content. All right, fan art, right? So you have places like Twitch was accused of embedding their channels across different areas of their platform, and you turn around and you start selling impressions for views, right? And it's up to the media buyer to say, well, wait a minute, are you selling me impressions, or are you selling me views, right? And if you're
Oh my
selling me
gosh.
views, right, like, and if the media buyer doesn't know any better, then they'll gladly take your money. Did something go down?
Yeah, they're doing. Tyler No Game came in and started spamming verify send. I love you
I
guys.
love it. Well, let's talk about that one. I think I see a pinned question up there. I
Oh,
have a question for
yes.
you. Yeah.
He goes, I have
So,
a question for Andrew. When are we giving Sid a check mark?
right. Okay. So, my question to you is, do you feel like you're on the right trajectory?
Oh yeah, dude. I'm honestly, depending on how long we keep up these views, I probably have the views to go ahead and apply for it. Um, but yeah, that's my goal for it. I've been on the trajectory. I was trying to shoot for it for the end of the year. I was so close to getting it. It was just the views. It was kind of teetering around that 20 to 30 mark. I have
But
everything else with it,
you're
you know.
but you're earning it.
I
Look what you're
am.
doing.
Yeah, man,
You're earning it. Look what you're
that's the
doing.
thing too, is I've been sitting here, I'm working my ass off for it. And the thing that people I think may not understand either is that I'm going to get it. I will get it, right? Because I'm not going to stop until I get it. And then when I get it, I'm not going to stop either. Then I'm working on to my next goal of what I'm trying to do, because I live in this mindset of I am constantly growing, I'm constantly learning, I'm constantly improving, I'm adapting, I'm doing whatever I can to be better. I always want to be a better version of myself, and that's why I surround myself with the people I surround myself with, because they also feel that same way, and they also they believe in that, and we believe in each other, you know? So to answer your question, yes, yes, I'm on the right track for it, and it's going to happen. 100%.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I I get what everyone is saying in here, and the easiest thing for us to do is just to do it, right? But I don't I don't think that you're far off, Sin, and
Absolutely.
I think that there's nothing better than it earned. It's
100%.
not a matter it's not about a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and that's what I would say to everyone who is kind of
Absolutely.
like, I'm right there with the check mark. And I would just I would point to your work ethic. I would be like, this is what it takes.
Mhm.
Um, there's probably 100 other streamers that I can point to that have exactly your work ethic, right?
I appreciate
At
that.
no point, at no point did you ever ask anyone in our staff for any of that. Or you, I just, the only thing I've seen you do, Sin, is work.
Thank you,
Um,
man. Thank you.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying. That's just I mean, that's kind of just the way I've always been. I've always had that. I did a podcast actually last weekend with my other half, and we were talking about that, how like the mindset, like it's always been there. It's just in the last few years I've actually applied the pressure to think like that, to do that, you know? And so I really do appreciate that coming from someone like yourself, and from everybody who's in here too. Like that means the world to me. Thank you.
yeah. And here's the thing. I'm not giving you advice on what you need to be doing to get there. I think you're going to get there. You're 100% going to get
Oh,
there.
without a doubt, it's
And
gonna happen. It's like you said, it's a matter of when. 100%.
I think I think that you have what it takes mentally. Um, once you get the mental part down, I feel in streaming, and I'm only saying this as someone who's worked as an executive in this and just seen it on the other side. But there's just something different that starts to hit with a creator when they start handling this mentally, this grind mentally,
Yeah.
and then they start focusing on their brand, and then they start
Yeah.
focusing on their content. And I feel like you're starting to cross over, and you're starting to focus on your content.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been it's definitely, it was a moment of trying to figure out what exactly I wanted to do. You know what I mean? I wanted to do something other than just hitting that go live, because yes, it takes a lot to hit that go live, but I don't want to sit here and just push out this stale content. I don't want to sit here and just put my face out there and just, do nothing. You know what I mean? I wanted to actually bring something to the table. I wanted to earn, the name. I wanted to earn the community. I wanted to earn the check mark. I wanted to earn, exactly where I'm at.
Hmm.
Excuse me, sorry. I'm fighting like a cold or something here. It's
Oh man,
it's tickling the back of my throat. Yeah. Yeah. So,
do you need a
speaking.
minute? Do you want to get some water?
Oh no, I have some right here. I've been sitting here chugging it
All
while we're
right,
sitting here talking. We're cool, we're cool. I did want to say,
cool.
actually, on the topic of, though, the check mark, right? So the creator incentive program. I know we got a little bit of time left where you gotta dip on out on me. We're gonna make it quick.
No, I sent a couple of text messages. I pushed some stuff back. So
Oh God, what a fucking
yeah,
W
we're
for
good.
Andrew. Gosh, you're the best. All right, so the creator incentive program. Now, this is something also that Kick is doing that no other platform is doing, right? So you guys are making it to where you are going to take care of your creators. You're giving even more to us other than providing a platform for us. And for the record, I want to go out and say something I mentioned before to people, is that it is not the platform's job to bring you the viewers or to give you handouts or to give you things left and right. The job of the platform is to provide you a space where you can push out your own content. Like, you're in charge of what you are putting out there, you know? And the fact that Kick is deciding to give us these things, though, I think that people are just like, it's going over their heads. It's like, hold up, you're getting a little too demanding here, feeling entitled. Kick didn't have to do this shit for us. and they are doing it for us. So why don't we show a little bit of gratitude for it, you know? But tell us a bit about the creator incentive program. For I'm sure everybody in here already knows about it, but go ahead and tell us a little bit about it. And then when can we expect to start seeing the application for it for us to go ahead and apply for that?
Yeah. Okay. So the Kick Creator Incentive Program is kind of exactly what you said. It's another revenue stream for a streamer to tap into. All right. To kind of backtrack on some of the stuff that you introed that with
Mm-hmm.
is, you know, yeah, no platform has to do anything, right? There is a give and take with it all, right?
Absolutely.
Um, so let me just first say that
Mm-hmm.
we created, you know, Eddie created the Kit Creator Incentive Program. I'm gonna say you got some gifties
Oh
coming
my
in.
gosh, yes. Trash Cat, Sasha, thank you guys so much for the 5 gifted each. I love you guys so much. You're actually going to make me cry tonight. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. I don't even have my hype train on
So
this channel because I usually, for podcast ones, I turn all alerts off because I record everything and I post it. And so it's easier to do that than having alerts going off, however, so many times when people are trying to listen to the Spotify podcast.
no, it's cool. Yeah. See, you're thinking on different levels. That's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, there's a lot more edit time to it too. Oh,
Yep.
looks like you got hit with some more.
Dubs,
Yep.
thank you so much for the gifted sub. I love Dubs. Oh, that's another one like a brother to me right there. Some really amazing people I've met on here. And yes, those are the links to my podcast actually on Spotify and Apple. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are the best.
Okay, so the Kid Creator Incentive Program, all right?
Yes, sir.
So Eddie saw. All right, you got some more.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Greg. Thank you,
yeah,
Greg. I
yeah.
appreciate it. I love you guys. You're popping the fuck off tonight. So glad I have a 18 plus warning and an explicit warning on the other where I upload this stuff too. So I ain't got to worry about editing that out either. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, so this is totally Eddie's vision, all right? And
Yeah.
I think Eddie recognized that when you guys hit end stream, you got Wesley
Wes,
coming too. Yeah.
we. Thank you for the 5 gifts, and I love you. It's my favorite TV right there.
When you got creators who hit end stream, the work isn't done for them. You guys are making TikToks, you're making short form content, you're
Yes.
putting the VODs up. You even explained it here. Your Spotify on a podcast. You're probably gonna hit Apple. Iceman.
Iceman with the 50 bomb. What are we doing? The man's just trying to get out one sentence. Yo, Ice, thank you for the 50 bomb. I love you so much, man. Ah, another one. It's my family coming in here, man. That's what I was telling you earlier. Ice is also, he's one that the second we hit it off, we've been like this ever since. I made a post about him because we did the podcast at DreamHack. And Lauren commented, and she's like, I absolutely love your friendship because I can tell that it genuinely, it's genuine. There's no ulterior motives. Like, you guys actually have love for each other. And I love that because it's absolutely true. Ice is family to me. Ice, Dubs, Echo, Sassy. My whole family's in here right now. I think the only one who's not is Maze because he's out there cooking right now.
Right.
So
So Ice, thank you for that. All you guys, thank you for that.
yeah, thank you.
So I do not mind being interrupted at all when this much love is being shown. So this is awesome. This is awesome to see.
That is
Um,
pretty cool.
but yeah, very cool. So yeah, about the program, short and sweet. This is Eddie's vision. He recognizes the work that streamers have to do outside of streaming, and the incentive program is a way for you to get incentivized to do that.
Mm-hmm.
To farm your audience over to Kick. The more you grow your audience here, the more money you're going to make in the Kick Creator Incentive Program, short and sweet. Is this a Maserati contract? It is not. Can it turn into that? It certainly can.
Yeah.
I have not seen any kind of cap to the rates that you can earn. I think that what we are in the middle of is a learning process, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what's happening here is we did phase 1 and phase 2 and phase 3. because we did not have the infrastructure yet on the
Absolutely.
dashboard for you guys to tackle that. And it takes Polly
Yes.
and the development team time to do that. It takes time to work with Stripe to make those payments. Is Stripe the right application to do this? Do we want to bring in crypto for this? How do we do the contracting around this? How do we do the metrics? How do we set all this stuff up? It isn't just like go, right? That
Mm-hmm.
we have to do it right so that it's sustainable. Now, um, Eddie announced that on January 1st, it's going to be going out, and it has. It's gone out to a handful of folks who are working the dashboard.
Okay.
We're making sure that Stripe is connected right, and we're making sure that the hours that you stream are reported by AWS and the amount and everything's in sync, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that does take a little bit more time.
Okay.
Eddie put out another tweet that it's going to be softly opening up to more people, and then eventually it will be on the dashboards, much like your verification,
Okay.
right? So when you're going to see your metrics and where you are in your journey to get inside of the program, and then you're going to manually apply. Same thing with the verification. Once you hit your metrics, you email us. We take a look at your numbers, with verification, right? We
Okay.
make sure that, when you apply with verification, we just make sure, like, okay, this person is who they say they are. This
Mm-hmm.
person has streamed here. This person's numbers do not look inflated. This person looks like they're a good person within the community and that they have a strong community. Now, here's the other thing, like, this is Kick. Your content may not be the content for other people, and we totally recognize that, right?
Right.
If you're a good streamer, you're a good streamer. But at the same time, if you're totally inflating numbers and you're just, raising hell for everybody, and you're it's going to be tough for you to get verified. And there's a lot of people who out there who are like, well, why haven't I gotten verified? Why haven't I gotten verified? Well, I guarantee you there's a flag that went up, why you're not getting it. All right. And
Yeah.
and we try to be as transparent as we can to let them know what that is. Right. And then hopefully they course correct it. Same thing is going to happen with this program. You're going to apply, and then we're manually going to activate the incentive program on your dashboard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now we have two different sets of metrics that you can go to our kickcommunity.com page
Mm-hmm.
um, and see our latest metrics. Now, we're still discussing whether we go with those metrics, but I'm pretty sure that we are going to go with those metrics where it is a different set of metrics for IRL,
Yeah.
FPS type of an IRL type of content creators,
I
and
only
then
saw
there's
the one
the
for just chatting and art. I don't, maybe I
yeah
didn't
yeah
scroll enough. Maybe I didn't scroll enough
no
or to just get
yeah
added.
the charts are no the charts have been there for
Okay.
maybe a month or two.
Then I didn't
Yeah,
scroll enough. Got it. I'm
yeah.
dyslexic.
No, it's cool. There's the niche categories, right? And so you have people like Amaze and Thong DeLong and Grim, and
Mm-hmm.
certainly a lot of people from Phase 2 and Phase 3 that the first class says, hey, look, this is the things that a streamer has to go through in order to sing or do art. It's not the same thing as a first person shooter creator, right?
Right.
And we totally recognize that. And so the two different sets of metrics came out. Now, here's the other thing, like, the metrics are, in my opinion, fair because they they were decided within a forum of creators that average 10 CCV and a creator like Lucci that does like 1500 CCV,
Oh, I
right?
love
And it was
Lucci. We're big Lucci
yeah,
fans over here. My kids watch Lucci actually.
Lucci is
Oh God, I snorted.
he is completely in tune with his community.
Yeah,
That guy could broadcast out of a tin can, and
he could.
he would get the same amount of numbers. So he's an amazing professional. But look, the metrics are there. They're designed to grind towards. They're designed to cause a streamer to reinvent themselves, because this is a business. It's a business. And I'm going to use you as an example. Um, you know, at some point you sat down and you said, how am I going to differentiate myself? How am I going
Yeah.
to jump into this, with 2 feet? What kind of content am I going to start producing? And um, a lot of our first class streamers do that. Our phase 2 and phase 3, they all do that, right? So we thought it was important that um, a fair day, there's a fair day's pay for a fair day's work in everything that you do in live streaming. And then the last thing I'll say about the Kick Creator Incentive Program being an incentive, like, look, it's a revenue stream. And I think you hear Big E talk about this a lot too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you got to start monetizing your Twitter, right? You got to start monetizing your YouTube. You got to start looking at the different platforms and how they benefit you. And it is our job here at Kick to make sure that this platform is where you want to funnel your viewers. So everything that you do, if you funnel your viewers here at Kick, you're going to get a better sub split, and you're going to get a better rate for when you stream for all of your efforts.
I just
That's
want to.
that's what
I just want
that's really what I want. That's really what I want to get across to folks.
Sorry, I just wanted to stop real quick, just
That was
for
good.
a quick second. My son's father actually came in the chat and said that he's watching me, and so that's really cool. Is that my kids actually will come on stream sometime, they'll come into the. I don't let them go on the camera because you never know, but I'm really particular about that. But he'll watch from when he's at his dad's house and his mom's streaming. He'll pull me up and watch me till he goes to bed. He came in to say good job and that he's proud of me. So if you guys see me
Oh,
start crying, choking up over here, I'm sorry. um, someone actually mentioned, or Bubba, I love you too, and you should be getting to bed. Well, it's 7 o'clock. You're good. You're good. You're good. Um, but Fluff actually had a question in regards to the metrics. So say you're verified, you apply, you get accepted into the program, right? What happens, or have you guys decided or come up with this? What happens if you stop making, like, you're not hitting that exact quota just yet of like say you reach the viewers, right? So for art, I think it's like 65 average viewers. Say you apply, you get accepted, but as you're streaming, all of a sudden, you realize that you're starting to teeter down a bit. You're not actually hitting that 65 consistently. What happens then? Are you kicked out of the program, or have you guys not decided that yet?
no, no, you're not kicked out of the program.
Yeah.
Um, Look, it's the holidays, right? Like, you might not stream as much this quarter,
Mm-hmm.
right? You change homes, you have to move.
Yeah.
Life starts to happen, but like anything else in life, you decide when you want to roll up your sleeves and you want to bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
Your creativity is your currency. I could say all these different cliches, but if you not hitting your marks doesn't motivate you to do better the next day, then and then vice versa. Like, let's say you're hitting your marks for 2 straight months and then you have 3 bad days. Like, you have to have grace on yourself. You have to
I
have some
love that.
mercy,
I love that.
right? So
Yeah.
it listen, it works both ways. We're human beings. It works both ways. What happens if I don't hit? Sometimes the problem is success. Sometimes the problem is success. And if you kill it for 2 weeks and then you slip for the next week and you go into panic mode, you can't do that. You have to, you just have to vibe. You have to breathe. You have to know that the program's always going to be there. You're there for a reason. Um, I think a lot of people like imposter syndrome too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, I think that, look, some of the stuff that you opened up with the drama, or very, at the top of this interview, um, I think some of that comes from that kind of pressure,
Mm-hmm.
right? That need to, if I get backed into a corner, if I have too much spotlight on me, it gets tough. But these are learning situations, guys. Um, there is no playbook for when you start hitting your marks. There is no playbook for when you start getting the things that you want. And that's what's great about the Kick Creator Incentive Program, is that you get in there and you start working. But at the same time, we also understand that you're human. And if your numbers slide, then listen, your pay will reflect that. But what's great about it is that you get up the next day and you can bounce back. You can roll up your sleeves, you can bounce back, right? I think what's going to be tough for people is it's not a handout, but nothing in life is. Um,
Absolutely.
and that's what I have learned to be true. Listen, I think at one point in my career, I wanted to be a writer for the sitcom Friends, and I absolutely sucked. I could not get the cadence of Chandler Bing's jokes down, and I was terrible.
God,
I
favorite
had
character too. Like he was a
I,
star of that show.
I had 3 or 4 different managers um, in the course of my career, and until I found the agency that I finally landed on. But those were all punches to the gut. But I licked my wounds. I got back up, and you just keep going. Um, and this isn't the end all be all, right? Like, if you don't make it now, then you keep growing, and you find other places where you fit in and where you start to vibe, and then you come back around and you reapply. um I How many stories did I come out of with Twitch where they're like, I applied to be a Twitch partner 27 times, and the 28th time it was unbelievable, and I'm like, holy cow, 27 times, that's a lot. But I guess what I'm saying is to answer your question fully is like, no, you're not just going to get ostracized
Mm-hmm.
once
I
you get
love
in.
that. It's Kick
um
seems very forgiving and understanding too. Like you guys, you understand that we're all human beings in this. It's not just some office suits going ahead and running it, and not you know you like you said earlier when we were talking about dream hacking. You were talking about how you guys don't treat us like you're a utility company. It kind of goes into the same perspective here, where it's like you know you you understand that life happens. You get that we're human beings, and you treat us like that, and you're not expecting us to be these robots pushing out these consistent numbers and stuff, and you get that. Now a couple people have asked actually in chat, we're talking about a temporary dip, and they have a good point here. What happens, like how far is temporary? What if you're not hitting it for a few months in a row? Do you then have to like reapply to be back in the program, or have we not figured out that metric yet?
I think you answered your own question. Look, there is a flip side to all of this also, right? This is still business. There are parameters that we will expect, right? There's a certain level of loyalty that 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 we want, that makes it work, right?
Okay.
So yeah, like look, if you're down for 3 months, you probably need to be down for 3 months. You
Mm-hmm.
probably something you probably have something crazy going on in
Yeah,
your life. You need to attend to that, right?
absolutely.
We have discussed where, all right, well, we put that account on dark mode, and we put them on a waiting list for them to reapply. You know, now there are circumstances where, like, you just won't ever be back in the program if you do something absolutely terrible, or if you're running the most sophisticated view botting ring that's ever been known to man. There's a good chance that you will never be invited back, right? But as far as like dormant accounts, yeah, we have to sunset those, right? Like, to make room for other people who are rolling up their sleeves and doing it. And you might just have to take a break, take inventory, and then come back around, right? But yeah, look, there is a business side to this also, where we will look at you guys and say, hey, these are the things that we want from you.
Mm-hmm.
Um but they're not things that are out of this world, like, and you can see it with our partners, right? Like, post when you go live,
Yeah.
you
As
know
someone
um
commented too, it's very similar. Like even the partners in the phases, they've you saw the three months, they've re-signed their contracts and stuff too. So definitely, that kind of makes sense that it's a similar aspect when it comes to the creator incentive program, where okay, maybe you just have to reapply. Like you said, if you find yourself that you're down for a little bit, maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe you need to take a step back and reevaluate what you're doing, take a moment for yourself, and then go back at it again. Go back at it harder than ever. But really, if that's like a sign that you need to go ahead and take a step back if you find yourself, lacking. I think that was a really good way that you put that. Absolutely.
Yeah, at the end of the day, this is all spearheaded by Eddie. And anyone who has had any dealings with Eddie, the guy's a level-headed guy. He's the dude's 29.
Dude, I would love to get
Gets
Eddie
it.
on the podcast too. That'd be
He just
interesting.
he just he just gets it. I can't tell you how many times I come to the table with intel or an angle, and he's like, "Well, yeah, well, this is the perspective on it." And I'm like, "Yeah, I keep forgetting that I'm like a lot older than you, and you're right."
You
And
keep saying that, but you don't seem
yeah,
like you're much older, Andrew.
well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I definitely appreciate. I was totally fishing for that compliment, and
Were
you
you?
got
And I,
sucked
I,
right
I
in.
went right
Yeah,
into it. All right,
you
hook,
went
line,
right
and
into it. Yeah,
sinker. Yeah, you
yeah.
lined it up. I
Yeah.
hit it out of the park for you. All right.
But to finish that thought, like, Eddie's got this firmly in his grasp, and he gets it. And he's not doing anything that's like crazy unreasonable. At the same time, there is a business perspective to this for us to remain competitive as a program, right? Like, it needs to mean something that you're a kick partner, and we're building that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're in the throes of that right now. So, just like people geek out when they're a Twitch partner, or people geek out when they hit 100,000 subs on YouTube. Like, we need to make that the same kind of feeling, the same kind of vibe when you hit kick partner. So it's got to mean
Yeah.
something.
Oh, dude. Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of subscribers, the equivalent of YouTube's subscribers essentially is, followers for us. Is kind of how I explained it to my boyfriend. He's a YouTube watcher. He just actually, I want you to know for the record, I've gotten 30 people to download Kick that have not even watched streaming at all whatsoever, just to download it and follow me.
See,
And come on here.
we
Like
owe you a plaque.
my mom and my dad were both in chat last night. So that was pretty dope.
We owe you a plaque. See, there should be a plaque for that.
Thank you. I will take my
Yeah.
award. I'll send you my address. And also speaking about changes, I believe we did touch base on this. It's been pinned for a minute, and I have really bad ADHD, so my mods are trying to keep up with pinning certain comments that are coming in. The question is, when will Kick release an official API so custom bots such as Mix It Up bot can be used on the platform? We did touch base about something or another similar to that right before we went live here, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, look, the API.
Thank you, Whittles. Have a good workout.
I can't speak to that. Paulie's the head of product, and he's cooking on it. And no one wants this API out more than Paulie and his team. But we also want to get it right? So, like, if you release a faulty API or a version 2 with a bad base, then you're constantly playing whack-a-mole from here on out. I think, look, let's just address it now. Like, the Kick went down like twice today.
Oh yeah, yeah, we were gonna bring that up. We joked about that.
Yeah, it's because Paulie's cooking and version 2 is coming out, right? And we even tweeted that out on our main handle, is that version 2 is going to be on its way. So the hiccups that you're seeing, the stuff that you're seeing is, yes, it's there, but it's all part of building the arena. I think someone had mentioned to me, well, why don't you just do it on off hours?
Mm-hmm.
Kick has 0 off hours.
There are no off hours. You have people all over the world streaming.
Yes, you have dips and valleys and stuff like that. But listen, like, as soon as you guys start to go to bed, Australia starts to wake up, and then Germany comes around, and then France comes around, and it's boom, 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 boom. So look, fortunately, we're a restaurant that makes really, really good food. We are just replacing the paper plates that we're using for fine china, right?
There you go. Yeah,
we're replacing the plastic tables that you're eating on with sturdy magnificent oak tables. So we're building the infrastructure. I should say Paulie's building the infrastructure, but while we're building it, you have 20 million people in the restaurant, right? And so yeah, um there's going to be some hiccups.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Another good question that was brought up, and you talked about it briefly about how, Kick doesn't have any ads, right? So a lot of concerns that people have had on the Purple app, some buddies of mine, right? Because that's where I come from. I have a large community actually over on that app, and I've gotten a lot of them to come over here and make accounts and stuff and come hang out. Um, but a lot of them haven't made that full on switch because their concern is the consistency of actually making an income. So for them over on the Purple app, right, they have the ads and stuff, and people see the ads and they are inclined to go ahead to subscribe to get rid of those ads. And so it's, it becomes regularly, that subscription happens and they have like this set income coming in. Right now on Kick, we're really just kind of hoping that people are either really generous or that they really believe in the content that we're pushing out, and so we get those direct subs. Do we have any plans on having any type of ad revenue or something to in comparison to that?
Okay, so I'm going to answer your question quickly, and then I'm going to offer up a different side of things from a business perspective. Right.
Absolutely.
So, okay, first of all, yes, we're going to come out with some sort of way for you to run ads if you so choose. I think that YouTube does a really good job of deciding if you want to run a skippable ad, a full
Mm-hmm.
ad, or if you don't want to run ads at all. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yes, we are going to come out with some sort of way for you to run ads if you choose and you get the control, right? There's also other ways to tackle this from an influencer marketer perspective, where instead of running a ad for State Farm for 30 seconds, why don't I ask Sin if she's actually a State Farm client and let her speak on her experiences to State Farm, and without ever breaking um, 22 minutes of commercials. You can run 22 minutes of commercials on some platforms. All right. That totally separates the main event from, listen, I look, okay, so I have an 18-year-old son, but I have a 9-year-old daughter who cannot stand ads. She
Oh
does
my
not
God,
know
tell me
what
about
that
it.
is. Not.
I have
She
9,
has no
7, and 5, and they hate it. I mentioned the word commercial one time to them. They go, "What's that?" We had an actual commercial happen. They go, "Oh, it's ads. Can we skip it?" I'm like, "Girl, this is cable TV. What do you mean an ad?"
right. All right, so here's the business side of it. All right, you all have been programmed to be the ad. You are all ads. That's why they
Mm-hmm.
care about hours watched. How many hours watched are you producing? How many commercials can I throw in between you and your audience? Okay.
Okay.
This is the way, in my opinion, that creators need to start looking at this. All right.
Okay.
Holy shit, you don't run commercials? You mean I can run my own effing commercials? You mean
Absolutely.
I can go to Midnight Energy Drink and say, listen, I average 126 CCVs, give me X amount of dollars. I will run your commercial 3 times thing. I will even drink your product on stream. I will do it my
Mm-hmm.
way, and I will be transparent with my audience and how I do it. All right.
Okay.
You keep 100% of that revenue, and that's the perspective that people aren't looking at this at. Right. Like half of my career was spent in rooms with lawyers and accountants to figure out what subset of of creators do we give the 70-30 split to, what subset of creators do we give the 50-50 to. That way we mitigate it all and we keep everyone running on ice at all times, where they're
Yeah.
too afraid to walk away but they're happy enough to stay, and that's where they want you to be. That's all of marketing, guys. That's all of business. That's all of that. Okay. So my point is that it's an opportunity when someone gives me that argument and they say, well, there's really no incentives for anyone to subscribe. And I'm like, no one likes commercials, bro.
Yeah. They don't.
No one likes commercials. So my question back to them is like, well, you obviously do not have an honest rapport with your audience. Because what you need to be telling your audience is, if you sub me here at Kick, I get 95% of it, and I get to do more cool shit.
Yeah, that's
Flat out.
actually what I told my people whenever I decided to make the switch over. And my mods in here can attest that, because all my mods come from Twitch. Some of them are still not fully on board with it, but they support me over here. And one of the things that I told them when I made the switch, I was like, look, I feel a lot better of taking your money that you're giving me when I'm getting 95% of it. You know what I'm saying?
Not
Like,
only that,
I feel better
road,
about it. And wouldn't you feel
yes,
better? Like, don't you feel like if you're giving these subs over on a platform that takes 50/50 or even 30% of my money, don't you feel better knowing that there is a platform that I could actually be successful on and take 95% of it? So when you're giving that money to support me, you're actually supporting me, not a multi-million-dollar company.
So I'll give you another example, right? So you probably see a lot of our partners promoting Gamer Advantage, or
Mm-hmm.
promoting Elgato, or
So we got right here,
promoting
we got our Gamer Advantage glasses on.
yeah,
We got an announcement
promoting
coming in a few days.
promoting OBS bot. I want you to ask any number of our partners if they had to go through a contract with Kick in order to do that. No.
No.
No. Listen, each and every one of you are your own business. You're your
Mm-hmm.
own business. And if you go to if you go to a business, a vendor, and you say, and you're honest about your viewers, right? This
Right.
is my CCV, right? Every company has like a influencer marketing executive, right? If you go to them and you say, and here's the thing, yeah, you want to go after the Elgatos and you want to go after the Corsairs, don't do that. Go after the companies that you fit with
Yeah.
at the trajectory of your career, because you're just automatically setting yourself up for failure. Yes, shoot your shot, but know what might be coming. All right. So when people say, well, you don't run ads and I can't trick my audience into buying a sub, I'm like, no. You need to be honest with your audience that,
Mm-hmm.
guys, I want to buy an IRL backpack so that I can go to Japan and take you guys around Japan. Tonight, I need to make 8,000. This month, I need to make $8,000 worth of subs. This is the backpack I want to buy. This is how much the plane ticket costs. Let's do this, and your community will respond,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
But you also have to know your community, right? You also have to know your community well enough to be like, okay, I'm not going to tell my community I'm going to buy an $8,000 IRL backpack, right? That's not where I'm going to start, right? The other thing that Kick has to do is we have to come out with our own version of bits, because that will help
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah.
And so that's on the horizon also, and Polly has talked about that bits are on the horizon. So, but I want to encourage everyone to be like, I am my own business. I have I have subscriptions. I anticipate that even when we launch the Kick Creator Incentive Program, there are going to be people who, once they get savvy, I can't tell you how many people will look at me and they're like, I'm just, my CCV just isn't there. And it's like, well, where else are you streaming? They're like, well, I'm on this purple channel. Well, let's pull up your numbers on the purple channel. Holy shit, you're doing 3 times the CCV over there.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you splitting your CCV? Oh, you're on YouTube too? Well,
Yes.
why aren't you crafting your TikTok, your YouTube, and your Twitch, and bring it to the place where you know you can maximize on your subs?
Yes.
All right.
That is
There
advice
are
actually that I got from Dr. Disrespect, actually. Okay. He's one of my favorite streamers. And somebody made a comment asking him about multi-streaming. And he's like, no. And they said, why? And he goes, because why would I want to split my community up in different places? He's like, when people want to come watch me, they know where to go. They know where to find me. And so a couple months ago, whenever, Twitch decided that they were going to go ahead and do multi-streaming, I came back from TwitchCon, people asked me, and my answer was the same. I said, no, I'm not going to multi-stream. I will post content on like TikTok, Facebook Reels, Instagram, Twitter. Absolutely. I said, that's just exploring my options to go ahead and broaden my horizons of bringing in more people, right? Going back to my previous comment of, it's my responsibility to build my community and bring my viewers in, right? When people go to watch my podcast, they know Everywhere I have it tagged, I even have it in the description on Spotify and Apple, aired live on Kick streaming. When you want to watch Sundays with Sin, or you want to watch Wellness Check Wednesdays and you want to see the live stream, you know where to go. You go to Kick. You don't have to sit here and figure it out. You don't got to go like, oh, is she on this platform or that platform? Which one do I sign up for? What do I do? And then when people want to go ahead and be generous and gift things to me, the subs or the viewership or whatever it is, it's all on one platform. It's all there together for me. Why would I want to split that up? Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but I think the other great thing is when we talk with other streamers and they're like, I'm pulling in 10,000 CCV, and I'm like, where? And then we're like, well, across these 3 platforms, and I'm like, so you want us to pay you so you can further split your CCV?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's like, no. It's like all those CCVs do not combine to one channel, right? Unless you
Right.
have a strategy to push that all there, So yeah, look, I think at the end of the day, you got to decide what platforms work for you, right? Where you're going to monetize it the most, right? But it's our job here at Kick to create a platform that feels like a community, that you feel loved at, that you can monetize the most out of, that you have the most autonomy to be you, so that you don't constantly have to have your laptop open to see if you're going to get some AI generated response of you being banned, right? As opposed to here where it's a conversation, where it's like, the other thing is like, look, if you did anything terrible, like we'd probably have a discussion.
Yeah.
Right. We'd probably be like, what went down? But that's the kind of relationships that we're trying to build here, is that that as we get to know our community, as we get to know our streamers, you totally know, like, when something goes down, then you're kind of like, I'm sure there's some gray area to that that we don't know about, right? But an AI program doesn't recognize that. An AI program just says, this got triggered, email off a ban for 3, 4, 5 days, and be done with it, right? There's actually no human interaction of the joke that we might have missed, or the circumstance, or things of that nature. So we're just trying to bring a different human touch to the live streaming experience, so that you choose to be here, so that Kick is the preferred platform.
Absolutely. Catch up on chat too. Whittle's given some advice when it comes to about, like the smaller quote unquote sponsors or affiliate ships, and actually touching base on that when, you're talking about you are your own ad. Whittle's actually had a good tweet the other day where it was, don't pass up on these affiliate ships for affiliate ships. If that's not a word, it's a word now, but don't pass up on that because you're shooting for something else, or but you're just not meeting the requirements for it or whatever. She's like, a lot of the partnerships that I have right now, I started with those affiliate codes. Those affiliate codes add up to something, if you stick with it. But the other thing that you mentioned too about finding what works best for you is something that I'm going to pull out another person in chat. Denny, what he said really spoke to me one day was that there were a couple different companies that were handing out affiliate codes and stuff. And Denny said respectfully, I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing it because I don't believe in this product. I don't like it. And there's one product in particular that I would love to go ahead and work with. And Denny waited and waited. And, he just announced actually just the other day that he signed with Midnight Energy. Shout out to Midnight, which is also one that I wanted to be with too. And there's it's just, you don't want to settle for something or just go to whoever's giving you the first affiliate code. No, you want to go ahead and find what works for you, but also don't pass up an affiliate code because you're wanting something bigger from them either. Sometimes you got to start small and get that and work with that and work towards your goal and be your own ad, like you said.
Well, here's the other thing that, okay, here's the other problem with hand holding. All right. Okay. So yes, is it nice to go on a different platform, have your little chart up there and be like, oh, I got this much in sponsorship, right? And you don't think
Mm-hmm.
about it. You don't think that you just gave them 50% on the other end, right? It's because it's just all there, right? Until another platform comes up and says, why are you giving them 50% of your shit, right? And then you're like, I don't know. Why am I giving 50% of their shit, right? That whole, then they look at you and they say, well, we take 50% because we're bringing you the sponsors. We're brokering the deals, and yes, there's benefit to that. However, what they are actually taking away from you is your education in this field. Okay,
Okay.
they're taking away your ability to be in these meetings, to negotiate for yourself, to talk on behalf of yourself, to talk on behalf of your community, right?
Mm-hmm.
And broker the deal that's best for you, right? And then when you get hosed and you learn from it and you move on to the next place, you know a little bit more, right? You continue to educate yourself. So the biggest downside to all of this is that your education in this field is totally being stripped away, right?
Yeah.
And it's not that big of a learning curve. Once you start realizing the KPIs that they want and the goals that they want you to hit and the things that they want you to do, and then also the minute that you start to walk away and then they start coming back to you and you're kind of like, all right, I got something that they want, right? You start realizing really what your worth is. But if you have these dashboards that magically give you these sponsorships without you going out and getting, and same thing with agents and managers. Agents and managers are awesome, don't get me wrong, but like when you do get an agent or a manager, ask to be in the meeting,
Yeah.
ask to see the contract, ask to see what the parameters
Yeah.
are.
Don't be
You know,
afraid to ask. Do not be
don't be
afraid to ask.
afraid
It
to
can
ask.
seem scary, like Widows just said. Negotiating used to be so scary. It can be scary, but something I learned is that if you're scared, that means that you are changing. And if you are changing, or if there is change, that means there's growth. Those
Yep.
three all go together. If you are scared, there is change. If there is change, there is growth. 100%. So, yes, it can be scary, but scary can be good. So, go for it. Push for it. Don't be afraid. Don't let that stop you. Don't let it block you from your own blessings.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
We touched base on that. That's a lot of good information, actually. A lot of people were like, really, they really liked that stuff that we just put out there for them. Um, another thing, I don't know how much time of yours I have left, but I did want to reach out about, you guys did start putting out there about what is going on in the community. So another aspect or another proof in the pudding of how Kick is paying attention to the community, you're paying attention to your streamers, is you put out there about if you have an event going on or you have, whatever the case is, you have like tourneys, you have events, you had like the Uprise just happened, episode 1, episode 2. Okay, Uprise just happened. If you guys didn't know about it, Maze and Dubs put on a fantastic show showcasing all these talented fucking artists across Kick streaming, right? It's never been done. It was like a almost like a Kick idol in a sense, and it was something you've been touching base on for a while. What made you like what ticked in your brain where you're just like, dude, we need to hone in on this? What happened? Talk me through that.
I mean, look, my background is television.
Mm-hmm.
Old school. I came up on sets. I came up on as a PA, as a writer's assistant, as a producer. I was always on sets. I came up on you know old school media, old school cable boxes. Law and
Mm-hmm.
Order, or the silver screen. All that stuff. But when I started working for E League over at Turner, I started noticing, I'm like, holy cow, these guys have like complete control of everything that they do. They're the cameraman, they're the audio guy, they choose the wipes that they want, they choose the questions that they want, they're the producers, they're the one-man band, they are the brand, they are the thing, right? And the technology over the decades that I've been tracking live streaming is like it just gets smaller and smaller and smaller and more finite and more finite and more finite, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the magic starts to go away from your Michael Manns, right, of the world, your mega producers, that are doing all, your JJ Abrams and amazing people, don't get me wrong, but you know what, I don't want JJ Abrams dictating everything that I love in pop culture. Like he's an amazing producer, but I find live streaming could be dictated by the fans themselves, right?
Yeah.
And I think technology has come across where let's just get everyone in chat, you know um does this thing suck, does that thing suck, does this person should we go after casting this, should we have this storyline with Superman and Batman that's never shown up in canon, right? Like what are what are the things that what are the pitfalls that you might have sidestepped in your favorite IPs if you allowed it to be created by the community that consumes it. And I think that live streaming allows you to do that. And I'm talking like at a very high level. And what I'm saying is it's would scare the hell out of a lot of like Hollywood studios because it puts too much control in the hands of the public, right? But I think that there's a lot of content there that people would love. I think people would love to be in a writer's room or a casting call or, read the first, sit in on the first table read or see some of the first renderings of costumes that are being made. And I think that they could weigh in for it to be much more authentic, right?
Yeah,
I would have never said this 10 years ago because I think if you have too many cooks in the kitchen, you come out with a big fat mess. However,
absolutely.
I think technology has made it so that you can streamline things and that people who are in control can start picking up on great ideas that are offered up in Discord, offered up in chat. And then imagine doing that same, you create everything, you create the script, you create the production design, you go out and execute, but then you have the premiere on the very platform where you created everything, right? So if a show like Last of Us was completely produced by a live streaming audience that played the game for years before a script ever came out, like imagine the reception. Like Arcane,
Mm-hmm.
Arcane had a premiere that released like 2 days ago, right? Like imagine if the entire Riot Games community was in on producing that moment, and then it and then it aired on a platform like Twitch or a platform like Kick, you know, where it could be well received. But no, like it airs on Netflix that has purchased every other thing that's come out and has Netflix has its own wheel machine that that is being produced by people who have the Netflix lens, so that's where I think live streaming could step in and do things a little bit more authentically.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I saw you guys also had like a new page on Twitter. If I'm not mistaken, they are doing tournaments, right? You have a new like I guess new position within Kick staff, is it?
No, no, no. Look, we didn't know what the hell that was,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Actually, Loss came across and was like, "Hey, I'm a part of this group. It's called the Kick Tournament Network," and we're like, I was like, "Yeah, I'll talk with him." And then I come to find out that there's this guy, Doctor Soup, who is developing a lot of this or heading it up, and he actually put on a Tarkov tournament like back in February or March, right? And then he just got it in his head where he's like, "Kick is going to be something. They're going to need a some and it's sophisticated like." So like last night, like I'm like, "Hey man, who's all in your Tarkov tournament for tonight?" And then he goes, "Oh, go to this webpage." And it was a nice, neat. It's professionally done.
Yeah.
It's really well done. And but what's important is I didn't commission it. No one at Kick commissioned it.
Okay.
He didn't come to us and pitch it to us and demand for $3.5 million. He didn't. Um, he didn't wait. He didn't wait.
Oh.
He just did
So
it.
he just did this on his own because he just has faith in Kick?
Yeah, he
That's
gets it.
insane. That's crazy. I mean, like, it's not insane because, like, duh, but it's
Okay,
insane
well,
because, like, whoa.
I'll give you another example. Sorry, Ababs is
Oh, yeah.
in chat.
We love
He didn't
ABABs.
he didn't wait for a hype train. He didn't wait for us to come up with a hype train. He went out and built it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I actually was waiting to go ahead. I was waiting for my my check to come in from the drop subs, and I started every time that I could go ahead and afford a little couple extra bucks here and there. I started buying Babs tools 100% because I was like, first of all, this is amazing, so I'm going to support Babs. I hadn't even met him at that point. And then I was like, second of all, holy shit, it's so cool how all this is like integrated. It's like, it was insane. And so I think Babs is someone I need to get on here and talk about that because that was actually super cool to see. And then I learned later on that it was just just somebody here on Kick who decided to go out of their way to go create that. Like that wasn't Kick staff doing it or like, our integrations. It was somebody else who did it.
Think about how he's setting himself up for when the API does release.
Oh
And then he
yeah.
can do more things with it, right? So yeah, like look, I'm not speaking for Babs or I'm not speaking for Dr. Soup or anything like that, but if I'm building something and I don't know if it's going to be received well by the people that I'm building it around, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get frustrated with shit. I'm going to be like, why don't they see what I'm doing or why aren't they recognize but here's the thing. We recognize it when the community recognizes it.
Yeah.
When the community recognizes it, when all of a sudden, Babs's hype train is being used by everybody out there, we're like, what's happening here? The same
Mm-hmm.
thing with the Kick Tournament Network. It's like, why do we keep hearing about the Kick Tournament Network? What is this? We got to start looking into it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but just that's everything in life, man. Like, don't don't wait. I can't tell you how many people were being like, "Hey, I got this idea that I want to pitch you, but I don't have the PC for it right now." And I'm like, "Well, what do you have now?" Well, I have this particular PC, and I'm like, "Well, that's a pretty damn good PC." He's like, "Yeah, but I want to broadcast in the bit rates that I want to." And I'm like, "Why? Just get your content out there.
Yeah.
Start getting your content out there."
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Um, anyway, sometimes you just put hurdles in your own way, and it just takes people time to realize that you can as easily as you put those hurdles, you can remove them.
Yeah. I love that. The last thing I kind of really had on my list here. Like I have a crap ton, but we could go on for hours really if I wanted to go through all of them. Somebody had a question about, how Kick gives back to the community. And we've touched base a bit on like things that Kick does differently than other streaming platforms. But one thing I just got botted.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I love it. Okay, hon.
they
Let's
saw
see.
you. They see
How do
you.
we do it? How do we do it? How do I do the
Just do. Let me see. Bot. I
slow
got you.
mode?
Advanced
Okay.
bot protection. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. No sweat.
Oh God, of course. Of course. Subs only. Sorry
That was
guys.
awesome.
That was insane. I officially made it.
Yeah.
I've been botted, guys. Hell yeah. Air high five.
That's hilarious.
I did it. I hit it. I got um
Cool.
anyway, before I was rudely interrupted, okay. I wanted to say something about Kick giving back. Something that was really cool was you guys actually Kick staff goes in and you find the smaller streamers of the week, I think it is, or it's like you guys Kick staff gets together. Do you take suggestions from other people, or is Kick staff really sitting there like searching through, like what exactly are they looking for or finding? Because what happens is obviously they get picked, they get notified of it, and they get a hunter bomb dropped in their chat, right?
Yeah, I think it's okay. So first of all, yes, it's a very well run program that was manifested internally with the
Kick picks, yes,
yeah,
thank you.
yeah, Kick Picks with the Kick community, with the Kick community team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So uh the guys in Australia came up with the idea of, well, how do we just take over front page? How do we recognize up and coming streamers who are doing amazing things?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we've just gotten sophisticated where they're we're constantly on Kick, guys. We're constantly on Kick,
Yeah.
and so what we'll do is we'll identify a handful of folks, and we have them monitored, and as soon as they go live, everyone assembles across the globe. All of our staff across the globe suddenly says, Sin is up right now. All right, all right. Who's dropping the subbies? Who's going into the chat to tell them we're going front page? How do we do that? And we get the vibe right, and we try to do it perfectly. The timing. We drop the subs. We take the clips, and then at the end of the week, we release a overview of everyone that was picked that week, right? And we
Mm-hmm.
we we drop the clips in there. The other thing we do is we tweet in real time when the kick picks person's up there.
Yes.
So it
Yes, I've
isn't just
noticed
drop
that.
money, right? So we do the subs, we do the front page, but we also gas you up on social media, and then at the end of the week we gas you up again on Friday, and celebrate the kick picks thing. But then also our moderators will then go ahead and, like, if that person fires up again later in that week, we'll front
Mm-hmm.
page you again, and just say, hey, that was a good time during the kick picks, blah blah blah. And look, it's just another way. What's more important is that it's another way for our staff to get to know the kick community. It's another way for us to go look at the other places that I worked at. I would have to get like 3 levels of permission just to go into someone's chat,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And start a relationship. So, but now, like, people know Georgie, people know Milos, people know Milan, right? And there's a
Yeah, Milan
relationship
came
that
into my
starts.
chat. Yeah.
Yeah, and so look, we also talk. We also are like, hey, so and so is going through this, or so and so is having a collab with this person, or so and so is going to put on this charity event. I think we had a guy named Grislow 2.0
Yep, he did
who
charity
was
for his
was
friend.
yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
so that got on our radar because some of our mods were like, hey, this guy's doing a charity event. It looks pretty genuine. Check it out, right? And so then we front
Mm-hmm.
paged him, right? But that just all comes with jumping into the community. And kick picks is a structured way for us to do that, to get to know the streamers.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I want to shout out to Corsi, who also was one of the kick picks. First of all, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. Corsi, I believe, actually was one of the kick picks, and he commented, said it was one of the best days of his life, actually. Being chosen as one of the kick picks and then being featured on the front page too. That's really, really cool. That's something that, and for those who aren't very familiar with it, though, it's not just it's not um it's not like the bigger names. This is another thing that you guys are doing that is focusing and honing in on the smaller streamers. This is something that literally no other platform does this shit. They don't. And what people, I find that the haters, so to speak, are doing is like they're getting so used to, they're getting like entitled, and they're getting grabby with it, and they're like, oh, you're giving me this, well, give me this, give me more, I want this, how come I didn't get that, I didn't get picked, why not me, I've done this, I've been here since the start. And it's like, well, first, like, what are you doing to get back to it, to get these things? Are you actually working for it, or have you become stagnant in what you're doing, first of all, you know? And I don't know. I think it's just I feel like Kick staff doesn't get enough recognition. A lot of the negativity surrounds it because of what other people, like to put out there. And it Kick doesn't get enough recognition, I feel like, for the positive things that they are doing, that they're constantly doing. They're constantly provide a platform here that you can actually physically see um in real time the growth. You know what I'm saying? The growth, the love, the connections, all of it that you don't see on other platforms. And Dub's in here. He made a comment and he said, chat, who else does it like Kick? And everybody's like, nobody. And 100%, it's accurate. Literally nobody is doing it like how Kick is doing it. It'd be cool, if chat didn't eat my message
Yeah.
every once in a while, but it's
So I
fine.
like I I do I agree with you, but we need the dissenters. All right, we
Mm-hmm.
do need people calling us out. I think
Yes.
everyone does. And I hear you. Like, there's a fine line between, like, the why not me, and well, why are you doing it this way,
Yeah,
right?
there's a
Like
difference
I
between the entitled ones and the ones trying to hold Kick accountable. Accountability is encouraged, and that is, what you guys focus on. It's like, yeah, oh, you know what, you're right. Holding us accountable to get to that, absolutely. But the ones who are saying, the why me's, the ones that are, spewing the negativity around Kick, that's the one where it's like, man, but look at what they are doing though.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, I think the I think that the why me's is just there's a maturing that needs to happen there,
Absolutely.
or there's a gassing that needs to happen there. They need to take that fuel to get to that next level, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then start to realize certain things, is that as they put out, just what I want to encourage everyone that reacts that way is try doing it differently for like a week
Yeah.
and see what comes back to you. You know, think about things in a positive way. And instead of looking at the things that everyone else is getting, look at the things that you got. Um, and I think that you'll see an embarrassment of riches, especially if you're fortunate enough to stream. It's expensive as hell to stream, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh,
expensive as hell to stream. It's expensive to have a PC and a mic and
you ain't
headphones and a
kidding.
camera and this and that. Like that's why mobile esports is on the rise on a global level, because kids across the globe, half of them can't afford a $3,000 PC to game on Valorant, right?
Absolutely.
They'll get a Samsung $80 phone and they'll jump in the Garena Free Fire like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I guess what I'm trying to say full circle is that if you're in a position to be able to stream on Kick or Twitch or Facebook or YouTube, you're doing pretty effing good, you know, and your time
Absolutely.
will come. And whatever your content you choose it to be and how people decide to respond to you,
Mm-hmm.
like that's what I think you really need to focus on.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Last and final question, Andrew, and then the floor is yours before we depart here. Um, Aside from Kick 2.0 and a lot of the changes that we talked about, is there anything else that we can expect from Kick this year? Any big thing that maybe hasn't been released that you could give us a little hint on? Anything that we haven't touched base in here yet? What can we expect from Kick in 2024? Aside from absolutely fucking killing the game.
I think I'm personally excited to see what Eddie comes up with,
Yeah.
because he gets it. I'm not going to speak too much for him. I'm just going to say, like, the guy's a visionary. He gets it, and he's not scared of it. Um,
I think you need to put a
and
word into Eddie for me so I can go and get him on the podcast next. I
right?
need an
Exactly. Yeah.
episode with Eddie on Sundays with Sin so we can pick his brain a bit.
Yeah, and that goes for everyone that he surrounds himself with. Um,
Mm-hmm.
everyone in Australia, they get it. Australians are cool fucking people, man. Um, they don't let things get too big, and they don't let things get too small. They'll punch you down a peg or two, but they keep everything on the level. And they're really calm, genuine people. Um, so yeah, like as far as what's on the horizon on my end, like look, there's a lot of discussion around KitCon.
Mm-hmm.
DreamHack showed us something, right? Getting to go to more festivals. I see that you're going to Loot Fest. We're talking
Yeah.
with some of the folks, over at Loot Fest to try to do something out there. South by Southwest is on the horizon. PAX East is coming, right? Like,
Yeah. There's a lot of
DreamHack,
big things. I'm traveling a lot this year personally. I am.
yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of big things, guys. And then the other thing I'll say is like esports is definitely on our radar.
That was a
We're
question I
talking
didn't
to
get touch base on. I'm glad you mentioned that.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we're talking to everyone and anyone, and we're finding the balance of what how the esports landscape's kind of redefining itself, and how Kit can kind of help with that. So I would say, like, more
Yay.
community events and exploring KitCon, and then really like honing in on esports kind of the
Mm-hmm.
way we did, IRL content and just chatting content.
Absolutely. Well, I really appreciate that. I'm excited for it. Do we have a date for KitCon, or like a roundabout idea on what we're trying
No,
to do, or it's still, yeah, see, I thought so. I thought it was still
still,
in the works about
yeah,
it. Still trying to figure it
still in
out.
the
A
works.
lot of it,
Yeah.
there's a lot of shit you guys are planning. You're constantly trying to improve this stuff. So, it's a lot. You guys are definitely staying on top of it, though. I personally am very, very happy to be here. I know the friends and family that I've made here are very, very happy to be here. Bob, I'm super excited to see you over at Loot Fest. I hope Mrs. Bob is going to be there as well. Um, and yeah, man, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this podcast with me. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for that. Did you have any questions for me personally, or the community here, or anything that you wanted to say extra?
Um,
Now that I've talked your ear
yeah, I
off?
mean, you know, on my end, it's just keep doing this, keep putting yourself out there, and you know, everything you're doing is not going unnoticed, and we thank you big time,
Thank you.
for it, because this is this is good media for us to have a roundtable and discuss and talk about things and experience all the things, getting botted and watching everyone sub you, and the
Yeah.
site crashing today, and like all those things are, it's like foxhole material, right? It would
Yeah.
be very easy for us to clam up and not respond to anything, but you're creating a forum so that guys like myself can come on and discuss these things. So you know thank you for creating a space to do that. As far as like uh questions for you, like I want to ask them when off camera and stuff, and get to know you and your community more.
Yeah.
I'd love to come back and get to know you
Absolutely.
guys more and what you guys got going on. I personally am going to start trying to stream more, and would love
Yeah.
for you to come by, and so
Hell
that
yeah. I will be there for your next
you
stream, I
know
promise. And if it
yeah,
happens to be on a
exactly.
Tuesday or Thursday when my kids have wrestling, I'll bring my headphones and go sit in the car so I have service.
Do it. And then but yeah, so yeah, I just, I thank you. Look, the stuff that I've witnessed here in your chat, you cannot fake.
No.
Um so you're the real deal.
Thank
So
you, man.
thanks so much for having me.
I'm definitely gonna go cry about this later. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here.